Well, hello everybody. My name is Slayer. I am the CEO of NovaWorks. I am met here by our COO Accelerator and our CFO G-Stick. Sadly, though, our COO might not be able to tab in for a lot of the stream due to him having to do a lot of behind the scenes work. With this being prominently him having to work on the vehicle. With that being said, on the launch pad, which is actually our vertical test pad at the Cape Canaveral Launch Center. We are in Kennedy Space Center for this one. On the test pad is the Umbra engine, which is attached to a fuel tank, which is attached to a test stand we have made especially for this configuration. A little bit later, once that clock reaches T0, we're going to fire that engine for approximately 45 seconds while conducting some testing along the way. It's been a long ride getting everything just right. We were actually originally going to do this test yesterday, but in the last minute before we were just about to do it, the streaming software screwed us over and the testing screwed us over. We decided to push it back to today, which I believe was the right decision, even though I'm running off of 0 sleep. I'm pumped up and ready for this launch. Or, well, no, test. It looks like we have a loss of signal from the pad side. We should be getting that back soon, though. Oh, there it is. That was a hard cut.
Hello?
Oh, there's our CFO.
Yes,
He's
sir.
finally in the
I was having
commentary
some
box.
mic issues.
I guess we had to get one of the maintenance workers to fix the microphone on the table. Anyways. So we used to be in like a different part of the world for a little bit when we were working on a few other projects across the world in Australia. But as we said, we've kind of switched channels. The other one got hacked, if you didn't know. So we kind of made the switch. We might go back to that one. We might remigrate, but we decided to move over to this one because this is kind of our backup channel. And also, we have an entirely new UI. We're gonna have an intro video now. Everything's more refined, and with our new rocket, which will be an actually reusable rocket in the future named Eclipse. Again, this is just the Umbra engine. It is one of the 9 engines that will be firing aboard the first stage. And then later we might do the same thing but with a UVac or an Umbra vacuum engine, which is the engine that the second stage will have when it's going up into orbit with your payload in the future potentially. So I believe we're about 3 minutes out from launch. I don't know if that's a 9 or a 3, but I'm pretty sure it's a 3. So, the team is gearing down to its finals. We're gonna see the LV in the background. Unfortunately, we are not able to hear our mission controllers at the moment, but in the future, that will be a thing, and we will be able to hear all of our beautiful mission controllers. Don't know why I call them beautiful, but they're our mission controllers.
Yeah, and of course we're around 3 minutes from this static fire. Today we should be seeing around a 45 second static fire, probably even 50.
I would say around 45 is when we're gonna have that engine cut off. As further testing before showed that the engine cannot withstand anything longer than 50 seconds while on the launch pad or test pad. Because if it does, it could risk the engine exploding from overheat, being with all the heat being pushed back on the engine and stuff, and or the launch pad exploding due to the heat and the forces that it could withstand and the heat that it can withstand being too little.
Yeah, and another thing that we're gonna see from the static fire is we're gonna see gimbaling test. Gimbal is basically how the rocket will essentially control itself in the atmosphere, or it could do it in the vacuum of space. But in the vacuum of space, it's better for RCS. Um,
Yeah,
so
and
the engine will move like side to side and stuff, back and forth.
that is one of the main things that's going to help us with our gravity turn, which pretty much when a rocket launches, you don't necessarily, unless it's a hop test, which we will be doing with the Eclipse booster in the near future, you don't really necessarily want to go straight up if you're launching a rocket to space. You want to launch it in a curve, and that curve provides, if you do it east, which is the way we have to do it, because that's the way the equator and like the rotation of the Earth follows relative to us. So that helps us get into space with the help of Earth's gravity. Anyways, on to the more exciting stuff. We are about a minute away from the static fire. I will be giving the count from T-10, but the entire mission control box, except for the mission controllers that are in our ears but not yours, because again, don't have that implemented yet. But everybody in the commentary box is going to be very, very quiet for a second, starting from T40, just so we can start, and then I'll count from T-10 to get us started. Okay, it appears we have had a hold. I have no clue what that is about, but
Hopefully it wouldn't have to. Hopefully we won't have to abort testing for today. I doubt we will.
I doubt we will, but if we go outside of our 15-minute window, fortunately we may have to scrub, but oh, it appears we've had a continuation of the count again. The commentary box is going to be very quiet for the next few seconds until T10. When I begin my countdown, I will also be doing a call out at T15, so. But enjoy the countdown, the very little one. T-minus 15 seconds. We have T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Alright, we are T plus and we have ignition of the ski level Umbra engine. We're currently T plus 10. We're gonna see the actual static, or we're gonna see the gimbaling there. As you can see, there's the engine. We have an up close view of the gimbal test that is about to occur. There it is. Oh, it's gimbaling side to side. Alright, there's the gimbal test being stopped. That's just one of the most exciting parts of this As you can see, we have just moved back to that main camera that we've been using for pretty much the entire test. We just want to move to that one because it's cool to see the rust and stuff, but we're about 5 seconds away from the ending. Alright, there it is.
And we have shut off. That's good burn. Good static fire.
That was a good static fire. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Alright, well, I'm gonna let Cheese Stick end this one. If our COO wants to step in the commentary box, if you can hear me, that would be much obliged to also help Cheese Stick end the stream.
Hi.
Of course.
Oh, there he is.
Hello, Starter.
Hello, Cheese Stick. Hello, Slayer. It seems today's test has gone according to plan. I'm going to be going through a ton of data after the webcast cuts. Apologies. And I will probably be going through everything personally, too. There's a ton of stuff to go through. There's like probably a pile of like 15,000 sheets of data that we have to go through. Probably not as many, that's probably exaggerated, but you get the idea. There's a ton of stuff to go through. And looking at it, maybe we should have tested the gimbal more aggressively. That might be something we do on more tests, which will probably not be webcasted, but we'll let you know when they happen, probably. And honestly, I'm handed over to Cheese Stick. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, so obviously, to start off where he is talking about that data, essentially it's like we're going to use that data and we're going to make the engine more reliable so it can fire multiple times with no failures. Obviously that's key to reusability. And that's about it. See you guys on the hop test.